The office was silent. Everyone was staring. Mr. Carter, the rich CEO in a sharp black suit, pointed his finger at a young man standing near the reception desk. Over a pen? You steal over a pen? He shouted. The young man, Eli, froze. His hands shook. A simple blue pen lay in his hand. "Yes, sir, this is my pen," Eli whispered. "Please, it's not what you think." Mr. Carter laughed loudly so everyone could hear. "Look at him," he said to the staff. "A poor little office boy and still a thief." Eli's eyes filled with tears. He held the pen tighter. That pen was the last thing his father ever gave him. And in the next few minutes, that pen would change everyone's life. It was a busy morning in the city. Cars honked outside. Elevators opened and closed. Phones rang non-stop. Inside Carter Industries, everyone knew one thing. Never make Mr. Carter angry. He was rich, powerful, and his words could destroy your whole life in seconds. Eli worked there as an office assistant. He came early every day. He cleaned desks. He made copies. He served tea. He wore the same faded shirt almost every day. His shoes were old, but his eyes were full of hope. In his shirt pocket, he always carried one small treasure. A simple blue pen. His father had given it to him years ago, just before he passed away. "Son," his father had said, holding Eli's hand, "this pen will write your future one day. Don't ever lose it." So Eli never went anywhere without that pen. That morning, Eli was standing near the reception desk, checking a list. He pulled out the blue pen and started writing notes on a clipboard. His hand shook a little. There was a big client meeting today. He had to make sure the files were ready. The glass door opened. Mr. Carter walked in with two of his rich friends. Their suits were expensive. Their watches were shiny. Their shoes were polished like mirrors. He was laughing loudly. "And then I bought the pen for $500, Mr. Carter was saying. "It's a limited edition. One of a kind." He walked straight to his big glass office. A few minutes later, his voice boomed across the floor. "Where is my pen?" Everyone jumped. Eli looked up. Staff peeked over their computers. The receptionist froze. Mr. Carter stormed out of his office. His face was red. "Who came into my office?" he shouted. "Who touched my things?" No one spoke. And then, his eyes fell on Eli. On Eli's small blue pen. Mr. Carter marched toward him. "You," he snapped. "What is that in your hand?" Eli looked down at his pen. "This? It's just my pen, sir." Mr. Carter snatched it from his hand. "Just your pen?" He laughed. "Really? You think I'm stupid?" He held the pen up. "This looks exactly like mine. Did you go into my office and steal it?" he demanded. Eli's throat felt dry. His heart pounded. "No, sir," he said softly. "I would never do that. I swear. This is my own pen. It's old. My father." "I don't care about your father," Mr. Carter shouted. People stopped typing. Someone in the back whispered, "Poor guy." Mr. Carter stepped closer. His perfume was strong. His eyes were cold. "Do you know what happens to thieves here?" he said in a low, scary voice. Eli's hands shook. He wanted to explain. He wanted to scream, "This pen is all I have left from my dad." But his voice broke. "Sir, please," he whispered. "Please believe me." Mr. Carter turned to the staff. "Everyone, listen," he said loudly. "This is what happens when you hire poor people. First they beg. Then they steal." Eli looked at the floor. His ears burned with shame. Tears rolled down his cheeks. He could hear people breathing. But no one spoke for him. Mr. Carter snapped the pen in half. Crack! The sound echoed in Eli's chest like his heart had broken too. "No!" Eli whispered, reaching out. Mr. Carter threw the broken pieces in the trash. "You're fired," he said coldly. "Get out of my building." Eli felt the world spin. Fired. Just like that. Over a pen. He looked at the trash can. The last gift from his father lay inside, broken. Security walked toward him. If you were in his place, what would you do? Would you scream? Cry? Or walk away in silence? Eli wiped his tears. He picked up his small bag from under the desk. As he turned to leave, one thought echoed in his mind. Is this how my story ends, because of one pen? But his story had only just begun. Eli left the office in tears, not knowing that the same pen would soon bring Mr. Carter to his knees. Eli walked slowly down the hallway toward the exit. The office that once felt like hope now felt like a jail. He heard whispers behind his back. Did he really steal? Mr. Carter was so harsh. Well, he is just an office boy. Eli kept his eyes on the floor. He thought of his mother at home. Her medicines. Her hospital bills. He thought of the rent. The empty kitchen. How will I feed her now? He whispered to himself. His chest hurt. Near the elevator, he stopped. Through the big glass wall, he could see his reflection. Red eyes. Tears on his cheeks. Crumpled shirt. He looked broken. He closed his eyes and whispered, "Papa, I'm trying. But everything is going wrong." At the same time downstairs, a car stopped in front of the building. A man stepped out in a simple but neat suit. This was Daniel. He was not as flashy as Mr. Carter. But he was powerful in his own way. He was the main client visiting that day. His company wanted to sign a big deal with Carter Industries. But Daniel believed in one strong rule. Respect people at every level. He walked into the lobby and looked around. No one welcomed him. The receptionist was busy on a call. Managers were running around in panic because of the missing pen fight. Daniel checked his watch. "Strange," he murmured. "No one is here to receive me?" He stepped into the elevator and went up. On the third floor, Eli was still standing near the elevator, holding his small bag. The doors opened. Daniel stepped out. He saw Eli's face. Red eyes. Tears. Shaking hands. "Hey," Daniel said softly. "Are you okay?" Eli quickly wiped his tears. "Yes, sir. I'm fine." Daniel looked at his bag. "Are you leaving work?" he asked. Eli nodded. "Yes, sir. I got fired." "For what?" Eli hesitated. "Because of a pen," he whispered. Daniel frowned. "A pen?" Eli didn't want to cause more trouble. He shook his head. "It's nothing, sir. You must be here for the meeting. The boardroom is on the right. I can show you." Even though his heart was broken, Eli still chose to help. He walked Daniel to the meeting room. Inside, the projector wasn't working. The files weren't ready. The contracts were not printed. Everything was a mess. "Weren't they expecting you?" Eli asked. "They should be," Daniel replied. "The meeting is at 10. Eli checked the clock. It was already 10:10. He took a deep breath. "Sir, if you don't mind, I know where they keep the backup files," he said. "I can print them for you." Daniel smiled. "You don't work here anymore, but you still want to help?" he asked. Eli nodded shyly. "It's my job to respect guests, even if they don't respect me." Those words hit Daniel's heart. "Go ahead," he said gently. "Thank you." Eli went to the printing room. He knew all the passwords. He knew the folders. He had helped prepare the documents himself. He found the contract folder, checked every page carefully, and printed the full file. His hands still shook, but this time it was not from fear. He wanted to do something right before he left. Back in the boardroom, Daniel looked around. He noticed something. The office looked rich, but cold. Everyone rushed. No one smiled. Eli returned with the printed contracts. "Here you go, sir," he said. "All ready." Daniel took the papers. "These are perfect," he said. "You did all this?" Eli nodded. "Yes, sir. I prepared them last night." Daniel looked him in the eyes. "You did more work than the people who still have jobs here," he said quietly. Eli didn't know what to say. A few minutes later, Mr. Carter finally entered the boardroom with two managers. "Daniel. My friend," he said loudly. "I am so sorry. Busy morning, you know." He didn't even look at Eli. Daniel's face was calm. "Yes, I can see that," he said. "Very busy." Mr. Carter sat down. "Okay," he said. "Let's start. Where are the contracts? The presentation? The pen drive?" The managers looked at each other. "Sir, we thought Eli would, one of them stammered. Mr. Carter's eye twitched. He glanced around. "Where is that office boy?" he snapped. "Eli." Silence. "He's not here, sir," the manager whispered. "You fired him 15 minutes ago." Mr. Carter's face fell. Daniel slowly placed the printed contracts on the table. "These?" he asked. "Is this what you are looking for?" Mr. Carter stared. "Why, yes," he said. "Where did you get those?" Daniel smiled and pointed at Eli, who was standing quietly in the corner, still holding his bag. "He prepared them," Daniel said. "He printed them. He helped me when no one else came." Everyone turned to look at Eli. Mr. Carter finally saw him. For a second, guilt flickered in his eyes. Then pride covered it. "Well, that's what I trained him to do," he lied quickly. "He's just an assistant." Daniel's eyes turned cold. He looked from Eli to Mr. Carter. Something wasn't right. He could feel it. "Really?" Daniel said slowly. "Because a few minutes ago, I saw security escorting him to the elevator." Mr. Carter swallowed. "Ah, that small issue," he said. "Nothing important. He made a mistake." Daniel leaned back in his chair. Tell me, Mr. Carter, he asked, what kind of mistake deserves firing a hard-working boy, right before the most important meeting of the year? The room went silent. A drop of sweat rolled down Mr. Carter's forehead. He looked at Eli. Say something, he hissed under his breath. Tell him it was nothing. Eli looked down. His heart raced. Should he stay quiet to avoid more trouble? Or tell the truth and risk everything? With everyone watching, Eli took a deep breath. The next words from his mouth would decide both his future and Mr. Carter's. Eli's heart pounded in his chest. He could feel all their eyes on him. Daniel. The managers. The staff at the door. Even the receptionist had peeked in. Eli's fingers gripped the strap of his bag. He thought of his mother. Of his father's face when he gave him the pen. This pen will write your future. Eli looked up. Sir, he said quietly, may I speak? Daniel nodded. Please. I want to hear from you. Mr. Carter's jaw tightened. Eli turned to Daniel. I was fired, Eli said, his voice shaking. Because Mr. Carter thought I stole his expensive pen. Everyone gasped softly. Eli continued. But I didn't steal anything. The pen I had was mine. A simple blue pen. My father gave it to me before he died. His voice broke on the last word. I carried it every day. It was the only thing I had left from him. Tears filled his eyes again, but he kept going. This morning, Mr. Carter saw the pen in my hand. He said poor people steal. He called me a thief in front of everyone. Then he broke my pen and fired me. Silence. No one moved. Even the air felt heavy. Daniel's eyes darkened. He turned slowly to Mr. Carter. Is this true? He asked. Mr. Carter's face turned pale for a moment. Then he forced a laugh. Oh, come on, he said. You're taking it too seriously. It was just a pen. Poor boy is being dramatic. Daniel's voice turned sharp. Did you call him a thief? Mr. Carter hesitated. I might have used that word, he said. I was angry. My own pen is missing. It costs more than his whole salary. Daniel looked disgusted. So you broke his only memory of his father, he said, because your expensive toy went missing? Mr. Carter's friends shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Daniel, relax, one of them whispered. Let it go. But Daniel did not relax. He picked up the contract papers Eli had printed. You know what I see? He said, holding them up. I see a young man who still did his job, even after you broke his heart. He turned to Eli. You were fired, he said. You had no reason to help me. So why did you? Eli swallowed. Because my parents taught me, he said softly, that respect is not about money or job title. A guest is a guest. It doesn't matter if I'm an office boy or not. I should still do the right thing. Those words hit everyone in the room. Even some staff looked down, ashamed that they hadn't spoken up earlier. Daniel took a deep breath. Mr. Carter, he said. I came here today to sign a big deal with your company. Mr. Carter nodded quickly. Yes, yes, he said. And as you can see, we are very professional. No, Daniel cut him off. What I see is a man who humiliates his workers. Who judges people by their pockets, not their hearts. He placed the contract on the table. In my company, we treat our cleaners, drivers, and assistants with respect, Daniel said. If this is how you lead, then I don't think I can trust you with my business. Mr. Carter's face went white. Wait, what? He said. You're canceling the deal? Over an office boy. Daniel's eyes flashed. Over your behavior, he replied. Over your pride. The managers gasped. This deal is worth millions, one of them whispered. Mr. Carter panicked. Okay, he said quickly. Fine. I'll fix it. He turned to Eli. In front of everyone, the rich CEO who had shouted now forced a smile. Eli, he said, his voice fake sweet. I may have overreacted. Come back to work. I'll buy you a new pen. A very expensive one. Eli looked at him. For the first time, he saw something different in Mr. Carter's eyes. Fear. Not power. Not pride. Fear of losing money. Fear of losing his image. Eli shook his head slowly. Sir, he said, you didn't just break a pen. You broke my dignity. Mr. Carter flinched. I don't want your expensive pen, Eli added. The room went quiet. Daniel stood up. Eli, he said, do you still want to work? Eli nodded. Yes, sir. I have a sick mother. I need to take care of her. Daniel smiled gently. Then come work for me, he said. From today. Eli's eyes widened. W work for you? He stammered. Yes, Daniel said. I need people like you. Honest. Hard-working. Kind, even when the world is cruel. He turned to the room. So let it be clear, he said. I'm not canceling the deal because of Eli. I'm canceling it because of Mr. Carter's character. Then he looked straight at Mr. Carter. And Eli will be joining my team with a better salary than what you ever paid him. Tears finally rolled down Eli's cheeks. He covered his mouth with his hand. Thank you, sir, he whispered. I don't know what to say. Just promise me one thing, Daniel said. When you become successful, never treat anyone the way you were treated today. Eli nodded firmly. I promise, he said. Mr. Carter lost color in his face. Daniel, you can't do this, he cried. Think about the money. Daniel shook his head. Money can return, he said. Respect doesn't. Once you lose it, it's gone. He walked toward the door. The staff parted to make way. Eli picked up his small bag. This time, his steps were not heavy. As he reached the door, he turned back once. Mr. Carter stood there, his shoulders dropped, his perfect suit suddenly looking empty. For the first time, Eli saw him, small. Mr. Carter, Eli said softly, I forgive you. Mr. Carter looked up, shocked. Why? He asked. After what I did? Eli's eyes were calm. Because if I don't forgive, he said, I will carry the same hate you carry. And I don't want that. Eli walked out with Daniel. One poor employee walked in with a broken pen. He walked out with a new life. The rich CEO still had his money. But he had lost something far bigger. His respect. His deal. His power. That was his karma. Sometimes the smallest thing, a simple pen, can show who a person really is. Don't judge people by their clothes, their job, or their bank balance. Judge them by how they treat those who can't give them anything back. Because one day, money can disappear. Power can fall. But the way you treated others? That's the part that always comes back to you. If you were in Eli's place, what would you do? Never forget. A broken pen can be fixed. A broken heart cannot. Broken heart writing hand.